Welcome back to Second Act, First Date, episode number 18. Sometimes, hitting 40 feels like all of a sudden everybody expects you to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Career, family, maybe even that retirement fund.
Mm-hmm.
But what about those of us who are taking a second act when it comes to love? Maybe you're back in the dating scene.
Yeah.
After divorce or a breakup after a long relationship.
Right.
Or maybe,
Yeah.
you're just now deciding to make romance a priority.
It's like, hey, baby, you me. That saying, you can't hurry love, all of a sudden has a whole new meaning in your 40s, right?
Right. And let's face it, dating after 40 can feel, well, let's just say it's not always a walk in the park.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on,
Mm-hmm.
because today's deep dive might just change your whole perspective. We're going to explore why dating in your 40s might actually be better than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
And we're using this fantastic article called Dating in Your 40s, Why It's Better Than Ever as our guide. Are you ready to be surprised?
I think so. I think our listeners will find some real gems in this article. It's not just about, putting on rose-colored glasses. The dating landscape really has shifted in ways that I think really benefit those of us with a little more life experience under our belts.
Okay, let's unpack this a little bit. The article starts by talking about how the whole stigma around dating after 40 has pretty much vanished.
Right.
Remember when it felt like
Yeah.
you were joining some secret society, and not a particularly cool one.
Joey, it was almost like you were supposed to have found the one by a certain age or something was wrong with you. But thankfully, that's ancient history.
Seriously, society is so much more open to diverse relationships now. Second marriages, blended families, people choosing to focus on their careers first.
Right.
It's like the rule book got tossed out the window,
Yeah.
which is amazing for everyone, really.
Exactly. And one thing that I found fascinating in the article is how this new openness translates into more freedom for you, the dater. Less pressure to conform to these old standards, more options to explore. It's about finding what genuinely works for you, not what some outdated societal script dictates.
That's so true. And think about how dating apps have become so mainstream. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not just for 20-somethings anymore. It's
Yeah.
they've become a totally normal way to meet people,
Yeah.
no matter your age. And that's got to take at least some of the pressure off, right? I remember when online dating was considered this weird fringe thing.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost funny to think about that now.
But that shift has been huge,
Yeah.
especially for those of us in our 40s and beyond. It levels the playing field
Yeah.
in a way that just wasn't possible before.
Here's where things get
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. The article argues that emotional maturity, something we've all hopefully cultivated over the years, is like a secret weapon. When it comes to dating in your 40s, it's more than just knowing what you want in a partner, which is definitely important. It's also about recognizing red flags more quickly, not getting swept up in all of the drama, and really communicating your needs effectively.
It's like we've leveled up
Yeah.
in the game of life, right?
Yeah.
We've got those wisdom points now. We're not falling for the same tricks, making the same mistakes we might have in our 20s.
Oh, absolutely. And let's be honest, those 20-something relationship dramas could be exhausting.
Tell me about it. So we get emotional maturity on our side. But
Right.
the article also points out how confidence and independence are major assets when dating in your 40s. What do you think about that?
It makes sense, doesn't it? By this point, you've likely navigated some pretty serious life experiences, building a career, maybe raising a family, dealing with setbacks and triumphs. All of that shapes you. It builds resilience.
Yeah.
And it gives you a sense of self that's just incredibly attractive.
I love that. You're not looking for someone to fix you or complete you. You're looking for someone who complements the amazing person you already are.
And that confidence shines through. It's not about arrogance or anything. It's about knowing your worth and what you bring to the table. That's a game changer in the dating world.
Before we jump into the next section, I want to remind everyone about our website at secondactfirstdatepodcast.com. We've got tons of resources over there, specifically for those of you navigating the dating scene after 40.
Yeah, we've got articles, quizzes, even a forum where you can connect with other listeners and share your experiences.
It's a great community, so definitely check it out. Okay, back to our deep dive. We've talked about emotional maturity and confidence, but let's get real for a second. Dating in your 40s can still be tough. You might encounter ghosting, bad dates, people who aren't on the same page as you. It's not all sunshine and roses.
Absolutely. And the article acknowledges that. It's not about pretending those challenges don't exist. But here's the thing. Because you've got that experience and that self-awareness, you're better equipped to handle those bumps in the road.
You're less likely to take things personally, right? Rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It just means you haven't found the right fit yet.
Exactly. And that resilience is key. It allows you to keep going, to stay open
Right.
to possibilities, even when things get frustrating.
Speaking of knowing what you want, the article makes a really interesting point about how technology can actually work for us,
Yeah.
especially in our 40s. I mean, I know dating apps, it can feel like kind of a mixed bag sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. The endless swiping, the awkward first messages. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. A lot of apps now are catering specifically to mature daters, which is a huge plus.
Yeah, that's right. The article highlighted a couple of features that I thought were pretty cool, like detailed profiles that go way beyond just a few photos and like a kitschy tagline. And there's a bigger focus on shared interests and values,
Yeah.
which, makes sense. In our 40s, we're not just looking for any connection. We're looking for something
Beautiful.
meaningful, right?
Absolutely. And some apps even have safety features and algorithms that are designed to filter out less serious daters,
Yeah.
which can save you a lot of time and energy.
It's almost like they've taken some of the guesswork out of the equation,
Yeah.
which can be a relief.
Oh.
Okay, this next point is something I really connected with. The article calls it the power of experience, and it's all about how those past relationships, even the ones that didn't work out,
Yeah.
have given us valuable insights.
It's like that old saying, you live and you learn. But applied to dating, we've all had our share of heartbreaks, awkward moments, and maybe even a few, what was I thinking? Relationships. But the key is to view those experiences as learning opportunities, not baggage.
It's about recognizing patterns,
Yeah.
knowing your deal breakers,
Yeah.
and not repeating the
Yeah.
same mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think that's really empowering. It means we're not just blindly stumbling
Yeah.
through the dating world anymore. We've got this wisdom to guide us.
Right. It's like we're finally driving with a GPS instead of relying on a hand-drawn map.
Exactly. We know where we've been, and we're much clearer about where we want to go. Now, before we wrap up this section, I have to ask, that feeling of confidence you get when you're taking care of yourself?
Yeah.
Whether it's working out, eating healthy, or just taking some time for self-care.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing like feeling good in your own skin.
Right. And the article touched on how that inner confidence is a huge asset when it comes to dating.
It makes sense, doesn't it? When you feel good about yourself,
Yeah.
you radiate that energy outwards, you're more likely to be open to new experiences, to engage with people authentically, and just generally.
Enjoy the process.
And that's attractive. It's not about trying to be someone you're not. It's about taking care of your well-being so you can show up as the best version of yourself.
It's like you're saying, hey, I value myself, and I'm looking for someone who values me too.
YOLO. Whether it's hitting the gym, taking a yoga class, or just spending some time in nature, remember that self-care isn't selfish. It's an investment in your overall well-being, which includes your dating life. Yeah, it's all connected, isn't it? Okay, I'm curious. Think back to your younger self. Did you ever imagine you'd be single and dating in your 40s?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Not really. Back then, I thought I'd have it all figured out by now, the whole fairy tale ending and all that. But life, as we know, really goes according to plan.
And you know what? That's not a bad thing. I think this article really reframes the whole dating in your 40s thing as a chance to rewrite the script. It's an opportunity to create your own definition of happiness on your own terms.
I love that. It's like we've got this blank canvas and we get to paint whatever picture we want. And that includes who we choose to share our lives with.
Yeah.
Whether it's a romantic partner, close friends, or a combination of both.
Exactly. And speaking of expanding our social circles, let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to dating: the power of friendships.
Right. Dating apps can be great, but they're not the only way to meet people. Think about all the potential connections out there just waiting to be made in a book club, a volunteer group, even at your local coffee shop.
Absolutely. And sometimes those friendships can blossom into something more. But even if they don't, expanding your social circle is never a bad thing. It exposes you to new ideas, new experiences, and it just makes life more interesting.
That's so true. Maybe it's time to try that pottery class you've always been curious about, or join a hiking group. The point is to get out there, be open to new connections, and just have fun in the process.
I love that. And before we move on, let's remind everyone that we've got a whole community of people navigating this over 40 dating world together over on our website, secondactfirstdatepodcast.com.
Yes. It's a great place to connect with other listeners.
Yeah.
Share your experiences and find some support along the way. We've got articles, quizzes, and even a forum where you can chat with other folks who get it.
So don't be shy. Come say hi.
As we've been talking, I've realized something pretty amazing. Dating in your 40s isn't about trying to recapture your youth or pretend you're someone you're not. It's about embracing who you are, where you are in life, and what truly matters to you. Now,
Yeah. It's like, oh, whole new chapter, full of possibilities. And the best part is you get to write the story.
oh, I love that analogy. So what have we learned today from this deep dive into dating in your 40s? Why it's better than ever?
Well, the dating landscape has definitely shifted in our favor. There's less stigma, more openness to different types of relationships. And technology is actually working for us instead of against us.
Right, and don't forget the power of experience we've all learned from
Yeah.
our past relationships, both the good and the not so good.
Yeah.
And that wisdom is invaluable. We're more discerning,
Mm.
more resilient,
Yeah.
and much better at knowing what we want and don't want in a partner.
Right. And let's not downplay the confidence that comes with age and experience. We're not as worried about what other people think. We're comfortable in our own skin. And that inner strength is incredibly attractive.
It's magnetic. It says, I'm not perfect,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty darn amazing. And I'm looking for someone who appreciates that.
You know, it's funny. But as we've been talking, I keep thinking about how dating in your 40s is a bit like a fine wine. It just gets better with age. Oh, I like that. It's richer, more complex,
Yeah.
and definitely worth savoring.
Exactly. So, to all of you out there, navigating the dating scene after 40, remember this. You've got this. You're strong, you're wise, and you deserve all the happiness in the world.
And don't forget to have fun. Dating should be enjoyable, not a chore. So go out there, be yourself, and see what adventures await.
And if you ever need a little extra support
Yeah.
or encouragement, you know where to find us, secondactfirstdatepodcast.com. We've got a fantastic community of listeners, tons of resources, and we're always here to cheer you on.
Absolutely. So what are you waiting for? Go write that next chapter.
That's a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks for joining us on Second Act First Date. Over 40, that awkward.
We'll see you next time.
And don't forget to visit us at secondactfirstdatepodcast.com. See you soon.